motivated you to start the forum?
I mean, I've always been interested in aromatics, natural aromatics. Synthetics have never really held much of an appeal for me since a young age.
Yeah.
When I was 12 years old and a man from the Middle East applied some attar on my hand, I'd never smelt anything like it. Despite having bowels, etc., I refused to wash that hand for a whole week, and it left a big impression on me. And that, for me, from a young age, was always the ideal. It's ideal for a perfume, and I obviously didn't find it in the shops.
Yeah.
He brought it from the Middle East, and so with that in mind, as I grew older, and I got involved with the Islamic societies in the university, it came across more scent because it's an integral part of our tradition as Muslims. Oud, musk, it's mentioned in the hadith, the saying of the Prophet Muhammad, it's mentioned in the Quran.
Yeah.
It plays a central role in the imagery depicted of paradise in the Quran as well. So scent plays a central role in the culture of the Muslims and in the Islamic world.
Yeah.
So naturally, being involved with Islamic societies, etc., I came across scents. Didn't really match my early impression, and maybe that's because an experience a decade before, prior, was viewed with rose-tinted glasses. But around 2000, I came across some people at an event, and when they walked past me, it wasn't just the scent itself that they had on. It was the feeling that it produced. It was a feeling of almost grandeur or elegance, which I'd never encountered. To this day, I don't know what they were wearing, but I suspect they were wearing oud. And then I started to go to some spiritual gatherings, and in those gatherings, there were people who would be selling perfumes, etc. I remember splashing out in 2005 on a rose oil, which was very, very expensive at the time for me, £30, right, which was a huge purchase, right, and I just thought, I felt a bit dizzy as I handed over my cash to the vendor. But I think the vendor was Ansar, in fact, and it was a lovely rose oil. I enjoyed it very much. 2006 and 7, I encountered other sellers as well, like Sidi Khalid Miller from Silk Road Ends. He's now unfortunately retired from that business, I think. And he sold me my first oud back in 2007.
Oh wow!
The oud I'd encountered prior to that was the £5 bottles you'd normally get outside a stall outside a mosque. And while oud was, mentioned liberally in the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, those £5 vials just didn't really do it for me. So I met Sidi Khalid Miller. I bought a very expensive bottle of oud at the time, and then a scholar was passing by, and I handed the bottle to him because he expressed a like for it, an Islamic scholar, and that I literally owned the bottle for about half a minute.
Oh goodness.
But as Muslims, we believe that if you give something, that you get something better in return. So charity is never a loss, right? A gift is never a loss. So later that year, I was in Jordan, and I happened to come across Ansar again, and I asked him if he knew any oud sellers, and he said, with a wry smile, because I had no idea that he was, a specialist in oud, he said, "Come to my place." So he took me to his place in Amman, and he had a huge chest, and I was, astounded at what he had. And from that point onwards started my real journey in oud.
So I mean, how?
So I'll come to the forum then. So that was your original question. So we struck up a friendship, and I was his customer for many years, and like many people with oud, I spent a lot of money. It got to the point where it wasn't sustainable anymore, and fast forward to 2016, I had some things to pay off in SAR, and I decided to start selling some of the things that I had to pay on SAR off. And I met someone called Habib who wanted to buy my perfumes, my oud, sorry. And Habib said we talked a long time. He couldn't afford the prices, so that was a dead end. But it opened up a new chapter in my life because he was part of a group on Base Notes who used to share notes with others about sources, etc., distillers.
Okay.
So he said, look, why don't you start something up with me, and you can pay off your debts and stuff, and you love oud. You spent a lot of money on oud.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable to keep buying it at retail prices. So he convinced me over 2 to 3 weeks, and we decided we were going to start something called Sacred Oud together. And then in July of that year, 2016, the forum which we were going to use to start this up was closed down. The thread in the forum, Base Notes, the Oud thread, was closed down, not for the first time. And Habib rang me and said, just forget it, it's not going to happen now. And I said no, because I never take no for an answer. If I find an obstacle somewhere, I'll find a way around it. That's just my nature. So I said, let's set up a forum and see what happens. So we can have another platform.
Sure.
So we set up the forum on that basis.
Okay.
Now, within 2 weeks, Base Notes, mainly recruited by Habib. And a lot of these people were wanting a forum and a platform that was neutral and open. And so I said to Habib, I said, there's no way that we can be vendors and open this platform ourselves. So let's just give everyone a space, other vendors, invite everyone, because I believe in open models. I believe in being open with people. And I think what happens when you're open and you don't operate a closed model, a closed mind, is that you expand the pie, right? You don't close it. You invite more people. There's 6 billion people on Earth, right? Plus. So to say the market of oud is a zero-sum game, it's not, right? It can be expanded easily if people come together. And you'll notice this principle in many Islamic societies where you go to souks and you find sellers of the same item, the same generic category of item, all next to each other. There's a reason for that. Okay. And so oud started on that basis. We parked our idea for operating anything. And that's how the forum was founded.
Excellent,
And we're proud to have given many vendors their start on that forum,
that's amazing. I think that this is what is needed, a platform for everyone to discuss about oud and talk about the different types of ouds out there, and just share knowledge, general knowledge about it, and then share their passion about it as well. It's an amazing place, really, and I'm definitely going to be getting on there that much more.
I'm going to hold you to that. The thing is, things evolve, right? So the idea of Oudict evolved very quickly from being a vendor platform to becoming an open platform for all vendors. And I think over the last 3 years we've proven that with the emergence of businesses like Imperial Oud, who were operational before that. But what Imperial Oud were before the forum and after the forum, it's a huge difference, right? Also new companies like La Maison Renata, of course Al-Hashmi, right? Habs Oud and other companies have been given space to grow, to express themselves, and it's also shone a light into the oud industry, and in particular the artisanal oud industry, because prior to that there was a lot of marketing, a lot of claims, right? So why not put these claims and these facts to test? Right, in an open platform where everyone can discuss openly and find out and share information. That's what it should be about.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, this is one of my main reasons why I've started this channel, is to tell people about it. And your forum really works in hand with it. So I'm really looking forward to going onto your forum, and I'm going to publicly advertise Oudict here. Anyone who's interested in oud, please go onto the forum and learn more stuff about this amazing ingredient.